Hey everyone, thanks for checking out another episode of Wonderful Garbage. This is the pop culture recap and Bravo Celebrity Breakdown episode where I recap this week's pop culture news and any news that happened in our Bravo universe. My name is Angela, and thank you so much for checking this out. If this is your first time checking out one of my episodes, thank you so much. Welcome. We love it here, and I hope you enjoy. Alrighty, let's just get right into it. This week, people announced their sexiest man alive. So let's start off this episode by objectifying some men, why don't we? So 2024 people sexiest man alive is John Krasinski. And yeah, I mean, he looks good. He is aging gracefully. Whatever he is doing it well. They typically do this, or they give the award, the big naming to someone who like has big projects going on this year and or a really big movie coming out or something. So I know he had like a movie earlier this year and um does like the Jack Ryan stuff and all these things. But yeah, I mean I think kind of a missed opportunity for some other people who have big movies coming out this year. I mean he's still cute. Let's keep objectifying the men, but I don't know. Interesting choice. He says that he immediately blacked out when he heard. And that his wife Emily is probably gonna make him do more chores around the house now, just to like help keep him down to earth and not get like a big ego about being the sexiest man alive. Some of the other sexiest men that Bravo put out in their magazine were Pedro Pascal, Andrew Garfield, Manny Jacinto, Shabuzi, Paul Mescal, who a lot of people really wanted him, especially with him starring in the upcoming Gladiator 2 movie. Like, yeah, missed opportunity there, I think. Theo James, Joshua Jackson, Matt Bomer. Also, if you haven't watched The Gentleman on Netflix with Theo James, you need to. It is a wild show. So good. One of my favorites that I've seen this year. But yeah, I mean, I think it's funny that we like there's always so much talk about like let's not compare women and let's not do all these things, but like men, no, we're gonna keep doing it. Yeah, again, I think there could have been others out there. I think Glenn Powell's been in a lot recently and he's gotten a lot more popular. I think he could have easily been sexiest man alive. Again, Paul Mescal, Pedro Pascal, come on. But congratulations to John. Ooh, okay. More men are getting attention because they really need it. GQ has announced their Man of the Year. Actually, Kim K was their Man of the Year last year, which was really funny. But John Mulaney is GQ's Man of the Year. So they did an article, they interviewed him, his wife Olivia Munn, and her mom. Uh, they talk about like Olivia's like, yeah, John fits in so well with our family. It's crazy. Like he gets along with my mom and my aunts like seamlessly, that they love the same Vietnamese movies and gossip. They are always talking about what auntie is doing what, who went where. Uh so it's cute that they have that little relationship. But they talk about him moving to New York in his early 20s, right out of high school, and things just, or right after college, and things just like really clicked for him comedy-wise. He got immersed in stand-up comedy, and that's all he was focusing on. He auditioned for SNL, didn't get a role as a cast member, but ended up being a writer there for about 4 years. And then that, like, built him to start touring and doing more stand-up comedy. And it just grew his career so much. Like, that's all he was doing. I was hyper focused on it. Also, during that time, he struggled with drug addiction. Like, he said that in his stand up and his specials over the years, he was trying to tell people how bad his addiction was in his comedy, but nobody was getting it or understanding, like, how bad he really needed help and how bad he was struggling, because the way he delivers his jokes, his sense of comedy, like his style of it, right? People were just eating it up without realizing this guy was in a really, really dark place. He talks about how he went to rehab at the end of 2020 after his friends staged an intervention. Like, a lot of his comedic friends held an intervention for him because they were really, really concerned. It was really, really bad. He said that he did so much coke one night that he thought he was going to die, but he couldn't get himself to urgent care. Like, he physically just couldn't open his door and, like, walk down there. I guess there was, like, an urgent care really close to where he lived, and he just absolutely could not do it. And so he, spiraled, got in his head. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. I can't do this anymore. There's no way that this could happen again. And then he said 2 days later he was doing the same thing. So just this vicious cycle that he couldn't quit, and it just got so bad to where, yeah, his friends staged an intervention and he went to rehab. He was in rehab for a couple of months and then got out and tried just, like, navigating, trying to be sober, trying to find a place to live. That around that time he met Olivia Munn, and it sounds like they really had, like, a one night stand, like a hookup type thing. And then she got pregnant, and she does talk about in the article, like, how she really didn't know John, and that he's newly sober. They hooked up, now she's pregnant. Are they going to be together raising this kid? Like, she lived in LA, he lived in New York. Like, how is this gonna work? Also, she didn't know him really well to help him. She didn't know how to help him navigate his sobriety. But the fact that they were having a kid together, right? She was just like, okay, well, like, regardless of what this is going to end up looking like, I need to figure out how to help him. During this time, John was married. His wife admitted herself into a mental health facility to help with her depression, and then they ended up eventually divorcing. So there was just a lot. Like, could you imagine, like, super hard drug addiction, you go into rehab, you get out, you meet someone, you get pregnant, then you're trying to, like, end your marriage, and you're trying to stay sober, and you're trying to rebuild your life. Like, how is all of this happening? He was telling her, like, that he was scared. John was telling Olivia that he was scared to relapse again because there was so much happening when he came out of rehab. But the one thing that when they would talk is that he was so excited about the baby. Like, that was a guiding light in his life, was, okay, all this other shit is going on. Like, I am struggling so hard, but we have this baby to look forward to, you know? So Munn said that, like, she did the best she could, and she decided to have another intervention with John and his friends when she was about 6 months pregnant, to talk about, like, what this is going to look like for him, and just wanting to make sure that he is staying sober and staying on the right track. So from that intervention, they agreed to her randomly drug testing him. And it's something that they still do currently. They're together, they are married, they just welcomed their second child via surrogacy. Um, but John's like, he loves it. He loves that these random drug tests, like, he has nothing to worry about because he has stayed sober. He's been sober almost 4 years now, which is wonderful. But that every time she does a random drug test on him, he says, like, I walk away happy. I walk away knowing that I am living my life, that I have nothing to worry about, that I am not scared for anything to show up on this test. Like, I know I am taking care of myself. And that is, a lot of people have judged their relationship, right? It doesn't sound like it started great. A lot of us have had one night stands or hookups with people you barely know, right? They just happen to be in the public eye and just happen to share all of it with us. And if the random drug tests work for them, it works for them. And if it helps him stay on track, and if it's just one more piece of accountability for him, so be it, whatever. But they now live in LA. Yeah, they now live in LA. They just moved. John talks about that now he has been asked to do more interventions, like sit in on other people's interventions, and that has been interesting, just seeing how people navigate it, like, and understanding that it's not going to be pretty, it's not going to be great. This person isn't going to like you for staging this intervention. It's going to take some time, right? And that they're not going to change overnight. But the fact that you're doing it just like really shows that you care about them. So yeah, but what a wild ride they've had. He's gonna be in a Broadway show in December, and he had a Netflix talk show earlier this year called Everybody's in LA. So lots of things going on. I don't know. I don't think we needed to know that y'all didn't really know each other before you got pregnant. But whatever. Like, thanks for being honest, I guess. It's a lot out there. And I don't know. Like I said, we've all had hookups. Don't judge. Like, right, what if your shit was out there all the time? I'm sure people would be talking all kinds of mess about everybody else's stuff if everyone else's things were out there. But congratulations to two men for getting lots of attention. John Krasinski and John Mulaney. How wonderful for you guys. All right, let's talk about the Golden Bachelorette. The finale was this week. Went to the Dainty Dillo with a couple friends for the finale. Great time. Espresso martinis, again, just delicious. So Joan is still dealing with the ending thing with Pascal and how he just like abruptly left and took himself out of the race because he really wasn't in love with Joan. And so now she's just in her head. She's been in her head this entire time, but just in her head more about like really choosing somebody and again honoring her late husband. So now it's time for Joan's kids to meet the two men that are left, Chalk and Guy. So Chalk is meeting the kids first, saying hi to everybody. They're like holding hands. And then he's like, I need to do something. And he goes and he kisses Joan. And you're just like in front of the kids, and the kids are like kind of looking. It's like, I want to show you guys like my love for her. So I'm going to go and kiss your mom real quick. And I feel like that was so much for our first meeting. Like, you're just talking to these kids. You're just telling them that you love their mom. It's all a lot for them. And then, like, you think that it's a good idea to just, like, kiss her right now? I don't know. I just thought it was a lot. But he goes on to tell them, like, look, I am not here to replace your dad. Like, I really do love your mom. I want to spend the rest of my life with her. I want to go on adventures with her, and I want to be happy, and I want to do all these things. And they're telling their mom, like, yeah, I do like him and blah, blah, blah. And we don't know, like, how long they are actually talking for, right? It could be a couple hour conversation that they're having that we're seeing condensed into 5 minutes. Like, we don't really all know how it went, but it seemed to have gone well enough because instead of Guy meeting Joan's kids, Joan goes to Guy and says, hey, basically, like, things went so well with Chalk, and I got to see my kids have this like connection with him that I can't move forward with you anymore. I'm not gonna have you meet my kids. And Guy is devastated. We were all shocked. I hate this so much. Um, he is bawling. Like, it is so sad. I feel so bad for Guy. And then, they have their like bachelorette finale show. So then they cut to that, which is like filmed more recently. And Guy and Joan get to talk. And Guy's like, what was it? Like, what happened? What made you want to just call things off right away and not even give me a chance to meet your kids? And she just says it was timing, which I'm like, what? So if Guy would have met your kids first, would you have, and like things went well, would you have not given Chalk a chance? I don't know, this damn show. I like it, but don't play with my heart like this. Like, was it manufactured like that? Like, then this was just a waste of time if you wanted to choose Chalk all along. Why are you stringing Guy along in this whole thing? I don't know, but I feel so bad for Guy. But yeah, Joan and Chalk end up getting engaged. He says, like, when he's proposing that he's going to get them an apartment in New York City so they can spend a lot of time there and that can be like their place to go to when they need. Um, but yeah, they're engaged. They're still together. They've been doing a bunch of interviews and they said that they are not going to move in with each other right now. They're going to live between Kansas, where Chalk lives, Maryland, where Joan lives, spend time with their families, like all there. And then they'll have their apartment in New York that they'll go to part time. And I just don't see this being feasible. Joan had said at the beginning of this whole experiment that she was not going to move out of Maryland because that's where her family is. And again, I think we know that that was one of the issues with the Golden Bachelor with Gary and Teresa. At first he said, yeah, he was going to move to where she lived. And then he said, psych, let's just go back and forth. I think that's going to be the issue with these shows is that these people have their lives solidified in one spot. They have family, they have jobs, whatever. And then trying to uproot that for somebody else, like that's difficult. I don't know what's going to happen, but I don't know. They're still together, and they said that they're gonna spend the holidays together in Maryland. Like Chalk's family is gonna come up there. All the kids are going to meet in person. That they've like FaceTimed and talked on the phone and texted and stuff, but they haven't actually spent time together. So the holidays they get to blend their families and see how that goes. They're also gonna do the Disney trip that they always give every winter and their family or whatever. So they're going to take the kids and the grandkids to Disney. And Chalk was one of my first choices. Before the show even started, I did a little video of the top guys from just reading their bios and things about them. And Chalk seemed nice, and he seemed nice in the beginning of the show too. And then I just feel like he showed some controlling behaviors. He would get upset when other guys were meeting with Joan and he wanted to spend all the time with Joan and he just got like really protective and if it was a little off-putting and a lot of people have said that on the internet too and I don't know, but they ended up falling in love, so congratulations to them. Good luck. Joan has said that they are in no rush to get married. They want to take time with it. They'll get married eventually, but right now it's them like going out with each other because they haven't been able to go out this whole time. So now they can go to dinner, they can go to the movies, they can go grocery shopping together, right? They can do all of these things that couples normally do just to make sure that it works in the real world. Uh, so congratulations, like I said to them, but we'll see what happens. Who's gonna be the next Golden Bachelor? What do we think? Kelsey's dad, Mark. A lot of people think Kelsey's dad, Mark, is gonna be it, and that's why they kind of just kicked him off so soon. Not so soon, but they didn't have him go to the finale, I guess, whatever. But maybe Charles. I would love Charles or Gary. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Ooh, okay. We got a premiere date for the second season of Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. Their chaoticness is going to grace our screens back on January 27th. We know that all the girls are coming back, but there is a rumor that they might have added somebody who was on the original Mom Talk group, a part of the swinger scandal as well, which would make sense because I feel like a lot of them didn't want to be on it because they didn't know how the show was going to go, how they were going to be portrayed. But now that it's so successful, why not jump on this bandwagon and do some shit? Why not make some money from this, you know? We are sure we're going to be getting some Taylor and Dakota relationship drama. Looks like they are back together. She posted a TikTok recently of him like doing chores around the house, washing dishes, cleaning toilets, literally doing the bare minimum of what an adult should do. Sure, we're probably going to see the birth of Whitney's third kid. We're probably going to get some cringy TikTok dances from that. They are on a girls' trip this weekend. Macy is hosting a pickleball tournament in Arizona. So all the girls are in Arizona supporting her. I think I just saw they were at a hat store getting like customized hats made. But yeah, Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. More toxic chaos coming to you in January. Oh my goodness. Okay, I want to talk about this so much. What the heck, y'all? Affair news in the Broadway community. You know what I'm talking about. Hugh Jackman and Sutton Foster. Wow. Um, yeah, so apparently Hugh Jackman, Sutton Foster, they were co-stars in the Music Man Broadway show that went on for about a year back in 2022. It ended like January 2023. Us Weekly did some articles about it, and the way that they are trying to spin this into a great thing is some bullshit. There's one article that says they have a light-hearted and joyful romance. It's like, no, this was a full-on affair. So Hugh Jackman was with his wife, Deb, for almost 30 years. Announced their split early 2023, and now they are divorced or in the process of getting divorced. Sutton Foster just announced or just filed for a divorce from her second husband last month, days before their 10th wedding anniversary. How insane is that? Apparently, this was a well-known secret in the Broadway community, and nobody said anything. Nobody told Hugh Jackman's wife because Hugh and Sutton are just such nice people and are really kind and didn't want to get in their business. It's like, oh my goodness, could you imagine like if Hugh Jackman's wife was around there, like saying hi to their castmates, going and watching the show, and everybody who's a part of the cast and crew knew about this, and then you have to fake it in front of his wife? Oh, y'all, the betrayal. So apparently, there was an Instagram post from a blogger. She had posted like earlier last year that Hugh blindsided his wife by running off with the mistress, and Hugh's wife, Deb, liked it And then her friend commented, "You're on point with this one, my friend. She's about to have a glow up at any moment." Oh, hell no. Um, yeah, I just can't believe that everybody knew about this and didn't say shit to Hugh Jackman's wife. Again, it was on Hugh for doing it. He like denied it the entire time, and then eventually, yeah, I did it. I've been cheating on you, whatever. Oh, I just feel so bad for her. Like, uh, like co-stars have affairs all the time, right? Well, not all the time, but like a lot of the times. Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt. You're filming something, it's sexy, it's exciting, it's mysterious. You're doing something dirty, you're doing something like that's so naughty. And then that shit, the excitement of it goes away, right? Because you're doing something you're not supposed to be doing, and then you're just like fucking ruined your relationship. Like same thing with Olivia Wilde and Harry Styles, right? Her and Jason Sudeikis weren't married, but they were in a long-term relationship and had kids, and then she left him for Harry Styles, and now they're not even together. So it's like you do all this shit, you ruin your relationships, and for what? You know? But much love to Deb. I hope she gets money. I don't think they had a prenup. I hope she takes him for everything. But yeah, so now there's all these articles coming out about, oh, they're so happy, or like about Sutton and Hugh. They're so happy. They're so in love. They're just so happy that they can now like live their life and everyone can know about their relationship. It's like, oh my goodness. The fact that they're now flaunting their shit. Like, do you not feel bad about anything? You guys just like both ruined your families, you know? Like, I don't know. It's disgusting. Okay, let's talk about some baby news. Megan Fox is pregnant. Her and Machine Gun Kelly are expecting their first baby together. They announced it on Instagram earlier this week. She had a baby bump and she's covered in like black paint, I think, or something. Oily paint. I don't know. It reminded me of like the Dawn commercials with the ducks that are covered in oil. Anyone else think about that? Just me? Um, so actually, Megan and Colton were pregnant about a year ago, and then she had a miscarriage. So this is their rainbow baby. She has 3 children with her ex, Brian Austin Green, and then Colton has a teenage daughter from a previous relationship. And they've both talked about just how challenging and difficult it was to get through that miscarriage. She's written a couple poems about it in her book that she released, and he's written about it in a song that he put out. And so now that they have their baby, or she's pregnant, and congratulations to them. I'm not sure how far along she is. She had like a pretty good sized bump, so I would say like 5, 6 months, but I have no idea. I'm horrible about gauging those kinds of things, but congratulations to them. I can't wait to hear what kind of name the baby's gonna get. Like, are they gonna go exotic and different and spiritual? Or is it gonna be something traditional like a Jack or a Jill? A Claire. But congratulations to them. Ooh, okay. Possible new music news and separation news for Jessica Simpson, y'all. Um, both Jessica and her husband have been seen out separately and both without their wedding rings. People are saying, she hasn't posted him on Instagram lately. And then something came out that a couple of her friends have contacted divorce lawyers on behalf of Jessica. Um, they've been together for about 14 years. They have 3 kids together. And yeah, I mean, who knows, right? Everyone's always suspects stuff when the person hasn't posted their man or their partner on Instagram in months. Like, isn't that so funny that we all get like detective mode and we're like, oh my goodness, hold on. They haven't said Happy Mother's Day or Happy Father's Day, haven't done some elaborate post for a birthday. But also to that elaborate post thing, I feel, and let me know if you feel this way too, but like when someone does an elaborate birthday post or an engagement or anniversary post, you're like, something's going on. Why are you over here professing your love for your partner on an app when you could just be telling them, you know? So maybe Jessica and her husband Eric aren't going through something, or maybe they are. Maybe they're separated, or maybe they're working on it, and they're just not posting about each other because they're going through their own shit and they're trying to figure it out. I don't know. I don't think it's right. I don't think we speculate based on Instagram posts. I think we speculate based on word on the street is that they're looking at divorce lawyers type thing, you know? But Jessica also did a post the other day teasing that she is, or like saying that she's been in Nashville, teasing that she's working on some music, saying that her comeback is personal. It's an apology to herself for putting up with things when she shouldn't have. Okay. If you're coming out and saying that, then yeah, like maybe there is some truth to the separation news. Um, or just how she's been treated in the past. Like I talked about it in last week's episode, but yeah, she was just one of the women in the early 2000s that were written about all the time, ridiculed, judged by everybody and anybody. Her weight, her relationships, her music, all of these things. And the competitiveness of like trying to go against all these other pop star divas, right? And like Hollywood and celebrity gossip and all these things constantly pit women against each other. And that was so true back in the day. I still think it gets done now, but it was really, really trashy back then. And so maybe she's going to write about that experience. Maybe it really isn't about what's going on with her husband and her, but I don't know. Maybe it is. I just hope, again, everyone's okay, the kids are all good, because at the end of the day, that's who it really does affect. But you also need to do what's good for you in order to be the best version of yourself for your family, right? So I am just excited about the new music. I want Jessica Simpson music so badly. I love it. I want her to come out with like more Christmas stuff. Give us more Christmas covers. Oh, give us a collab with Ashley. I want it all. So maybe Jessica Simpson new music. Maybe she'll come out with like a summer bop. That's what she needs. She needs a comeback of a good summer shake your ass and tits to it. A good drinking out on the lake song or shaking your thing in the club. I don't know. It just sucks. Because also last year she was coming out and saying that she was so thankful for her soulmate, that he supports her career so much and understands her more than anybody else. So, I don't know. We'll see what happens. It just sucks speculating on people's relationships, you know? Like, that's always super tough. And we probably shouldn't be doing it. Alrighty, y'all, let's talk about Wicked. Oh my goodness, how many premieres have they had? At least four, right? At least three? We've had the London premiere, the LA, the New York. What else is going to happen? There's been so many of them. We had some Bravo representation at the LA premiere. Stassi and Beau from Vanderpump Rules were there, and God, they're hot. They're both a cute couple. Stassi looked so good in this emerald green, like vintage dress, and was one of the better dressed people at the premiere. Y'all, the wide range of outfits that we are getting is crazy. Everyone, there's a lot of people, not everyone, but a lot of people are playing on the pink and green color combos. Lots of flops though. It's like you try to go too artsy with it, too campy, and then it just doesn't fit. Like Ashley Tisdale. Ashley Tisdale looked like she was going to an accountant job interview. She had on this dark emerald suit, but then her undershirt was like lime green. Like it did not flow well. And I don't know. It didn't accentuate anything on her well. She could have done more. I think she could have done a cute pant, like a trouser with maybe like a fun flirty top. I don't know, but it did not land for me. There's a lot that haven't landed for me. A lot of wide, like a spectrum of outfits. But I did love Michelle Yeoh. She came out in a like curly, wavy blonde bob, and holy moly, she looked so good in that. Kristen Chenoweth and Adina Menzel went to the LA premiere and they looked phenomenal also. Like Kristen Chenoweth does not age. She is gorgeous. Same thing with Adina. Like they are both looking so good. Some of Cynthia and Ariana Grande's outfits have looked good too. There's a couple I've been like, oh, all right. Oh, Jonathan Bailey. He looked really good. He came out, I think it was the LA premiere in these cute red, like shiny red shoes, like Dorothy's red shoes that she wears in Wizard of Oz. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I'm excited to see this movie. I've never seen I haven't seen the play. But I'm excited. I love a good, hyped up, big Hollywood production. So we'll see how it goes. But have y'all seen the interview clips of Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo? With every interviewer, they are just like, they're so kind and like really sweet. And you can tell they're just like really nice people, but I feel like they are loving every interviewer's outfits. They're just like, oh, wow. Hi, thank you so much. We love this. Like they're being so sweet in these interviews and like just maybe it's the softness of their voice. I don't know, but the interviews they have been doing for this show or for this movie, it's wild. And this is also only part one. So then they have to do all this shit again next year for part two. Oh my goodness, it's gonna be a lot, but I'm excited to see it. I hope it's really good. Um, I wonder if people are gonna be dressed up in the theater for it, like how people were doing for Barbie. I went with some friends to see Barbie, and a lot of us wore pink because duh. And so I wonder if people are gonna be doing the same for Wicked, but they've had a lot of premieres like back to back to back to back. It's like what else are we gonna do? Are we have more premieres? Are we done yet? I bet these people are exhausted. Oh, okay. I want to talk about I'm gonna end pop culture recap. This has nothing to do with celebrities, but it was just really freaking funny and I saw it online. So apparently, there's four people out in LA who filed an insurance claim saying that a bear had mauled their cars. And this is one of the dumbest stories I've ever heard, y'all. They are now charged with insurance fraud and conspiracy because, again, they said a bear attacked three of their cars out when they were in Lake Arrowhead. So they got, like, police got pictures and videos of the attacks, and the claw marks on the car seats are laughable. It looks like they took those, like those claws that you would use for, uh, tearing apart, like, barbecue meat. Like, if you're shredding a roast or a pork butt or something, you have these claws. My husband has them, and you would, like, literally, you're just clawing apart the meat. You're separating it. It looks like somebody took those and scratched the car seats. Like nothing that a real bear with real claws and the power and the strength of an actual bear would do. If an actual bear did this to your car, there would be way more damage. So, two people had filed claims. They had gotten a payout for it. This third one filed the claim. They looked into it more and were able to get a warrant for the person's house to like take a look around, I guess like gather more evidence or whatever. And they found a bear costume in the house. So it turns out these people put on a bear costume, went and got these shitty claws, made it try to seem like a bear destroyed their cars, and then filed an insurance claim on it. They had a payout of over 140,000 or about 140,000 on all the insurance claims. And now they're charged with fraud and conspiracy. How dumb is that, y'all? How dumb do you have to be to think that that's actually going to work? I can't. Anyways, I needed to share that with y'all. People magazine have had the wildest stories this week. But I saw that one come across my desk and I was like, I have to share it on the podcast because that is so dumb. Okay. That is my pop culture recap for the week. Let's get into our Bravo Celebrity Breakdown. All right, let's start our Bravo Celebrity Breakdown in the Valley. Brittany and Jax were on Bravo's Hot Mic podcast. They were on it separately. They released the episodes back to back though. So Brittany was interviewed first and then Jax, and Brittany has come out all over social media to let us know that Jax is a liar. Shocker. So Jax was saying that while he was in rehab, he reached out to Brittany and said, hey, like I know we're separated. I want to go ahead and get a mediator so that like when we do file for divorce and everything, we can figure it out a little better. Jax thinks that he blindsided Brittany with that. So then she went out and was like, oh, put on social media, I'm filing for divorce. I'm looking for a divorce lawyer, blah, blah, blah. It's just like, you have no respect for this woman still. You have some sort of need to get out there. And you want to prove to everybody that this divorce thing was your doing, your idea. You're the one who initiated it. You realized that you didn't want to be in this relationship anymore, and so you wanted to be the bigger person and do the divorce stuff first. It's like, can't you give any grace to your soon-to-be ex-wife, the mother of your child? Like, we don't need to know everything. You know? There's some things that, for a respect thing, that you can just keep to yourself. You know? Brittany came out and said that that was all a lie. He's making this whole timeline up, or the whole thing that she was blindsided by him asking or wanting a mediator, so then she felt threatened and wanted to get it out there first. Like, it's not a competition, you know? But for some reason, maybe it's the narcissism, that he feels a need to put all of this out there first, to continue to humiliate her, to continue to embarrass her, you know? Jax talks about him finding out that Brittany was sleeping with a mutual friend, that he saw pictures that she was sending him, and that he just saw red. Like, he got so pissed, so heated. They were all at their house together. Their son was downstairs. Jax was upstairs. He starts throwing furniture because he's so upset. And that's what sent him in a downward spiral and made him go into rehab. It's like, yeah, you got a taste of your own medicine. You treated Brittany like shit for years. You cheated on her. She took you back, you married her, gave you a son, and you still are treating her like crap. And like, we're supposed to feel sorry for you. Great that you went to rehab. Continue to work on yourself. Go to therapy. Do all the things. Stay out of talking shit about your wife in the streets. Stay out of trying to like one up her almost with what you did and how you were trying to be the bigger person and you initiating things like that, you know? Uh, Brittany was saying that she tried everything, of course, before filing for divorce and before being separated, like really thought that she could change him. And we saw it in Vanderpump Rules if you watched it. Jax was a serial cheater, serial liar. Brittany came into his life and everyone kept telling Brittany, oh my goodness, it looks like you're changing him, like you're really changing him. Then he cheats on her with their coworker. They split up. His dad passes away. Brittany jumps back into girlfriend mode, like, I'm going to support you. I'm going to take care of you. And Jax says, you know, like, Brittany helped me get through that really difficult time. So again, people were like, oh my goodness, Jax, you owe Brittany so much. Like, she's here for you. She's there for you. She took you back. Thought things were getting better. Again, Brittany, you've changed him. Oh my goodness. Wow. Like, he's really turning out to be a better person. So I think in her mind, everyone just kept saying, like, you're so good for Jax. You're so good for Jax. And I think by her staying with him was her thinking, like, okay, he's going to change this time. This time it's going to get better. Things are going to get better. And he continuously wasn't getting better for her or treating her with respect. So she had to do what was best for her and her son. And you see it on the Valley season 1, the way he talks with her, the way he puts her down for like her drinking and being hungover and not being a present mother. He's literally carrying their child and yelling at her about being a bad mom. And that, oh, you want to bring another kid into this, but you're acting like this. And like, this poor child is in your arms and you are demeaning his mother right in front of him. Like, children are a product of their environment. And if you're putting him in this environment, it's not going to be good for him. You're showing him, oh, is this what a father is supposed to be like? Is this what a husband is supposed to act like? It's okay to talk like this to your wife because I saw it growing up, you know? Like, it's all sad. She talks about hooking up with their mutual friend Julian, saying that they didn't have a no friends rule for dating and hooking up, but also screw him. Like, he didn't give her attention and affection for years. They've talked about how sex just really wasn't happening after she gave birth. And so it's been rocky for a bit. And so, yeah, she was going to go out and sleep with their friend. They were like their mutual friend or whatever. They were separated. Like, who gives a shit? But they do have a rule to not have anybody of significance around their son and not anybody in the house. Because Brittany's like, I am paying, like, I still pay for the house. I do all these things. We know Brittany lives in the house, pays the bills. Jax has his own condo now, but she thinks that Jax has had people around the house, but doesn't think that he's had anyone around the kid, which is good. Because, hey, like, he's going to continue to be a fuckboy. He's going to continue to be a fuckboy. But if he can abide by the rule of not bringing any significant others around the kid, I think that's going to be really, really good for him. He says that he knows he's not, like, he doesn't want to be in the relationship. He's checked out. So getting divorced and being separated is the best thing for them both. Like, he doesn't want to try to get back with her. And I think, yeah, Brittany is really, really done with him. It's just sad. A lot of people online are coming at Brittany like, I don't feel bad for you. I don't feel sorry for you. We all knew who Jax was. And it's like, yes, we've seen it, but we don't live their day-to-day life. And she was really, really trying. And it's hard to get out of those kinds of relationships. So sometimes you just have to give people time to get through it and do that. And that's what she did. Jax was also saying that, like, Brittany is still texting him and trying to hook up with him and asking him to come over and all these things. To which then Brittany came out online and was like, I invited him over to have dinner with our son. Was it at night? Yes, it was dinner. Like, I'm not trying to hook up with him. I'm trying to see if we can still be friends for the sake of our son. So Brittany has just been calling Jax out online about all of this shit. I love it. Oh, Brittany also let us know that she is opening up her own bar with the same people that Jax opened up his bar with. It's going to be down the street from Tom Tom by Sir. It's going to be called Brits. So I'm sure we're going to see that on the Valley. And Jax also said he's opening up two more locations of Jax's, one in California and another one out of state. So good for them. Make that money, stay away from each other romantically, move on, and just be the best parents that you can be for your son, you know? Oh, marriage news. Golnessa from the Shaws of Sunset is married to her on again, off again boyfriend of 11 years. She posted a video of them going to the marriage license bureau and then going to a chapel. They both got tattoos on their wrists that say 555, which is the street address of the chapel that they got married at. She also posted some videos. They had a fancy dinner to celebrate with some of her friends. Some of the Shaw's people were there too. She says that they've been friends for a really long time, like best friend status, that when they weren't together, people would be like, why aren't you guys together? Like, you both have such great energy and you get along so well and you have so much fun. So it sounds like there's always been something there, but maybe timing wasn't great. So now they are married. So congratulations. I hope this gives us, maybe we'll get Shaw's back at some point eventually. Who freaking knows? Oh, okay, we have a couple baby news things to talk about. So Candace Dillard Bassett, who was on the Real Housewives of Potomac, has given birth to a baby boy, Jet Maxwell Lee Bassett, saying that she is so overjoyed, so excited, so happy that he's finally here with them. She chronicled their IVF journey on her last season of Potomac, so we got to see her go through that, and I'm so happy for them. She says she just looks at him and thinks about like all the adventures that they're going to have. He's about a month old. She gave birth in the beginning of October and they did a exclusive with People magazine, so we got to see pictures of them. She says that she gave her son two middle names because she is extra. But that they both really loved the name Jet because it translates from Hebrew to excellence and abundance. So she really wanted to give him a strong name that meant something. And so congratulations to Candace and Chris. This is Candace's first kid. This is Chris's fourth. And so I love that for them. I hope they're doing good. I selfishly want her back on Potomac. Maybe we'll get a little guest appearance here and there, but I am sure she is just basking in all the baby goodness right now. So congratulations to Candace and Chris and their family. Okay, more baby news. People are busy in these streets, y'all. Erin from the Real Housewives of New York is pregnant with baby number 4. She also announced it with People magazine that she is expecting again, saying that they are adding another act to the circus. She says that she has just been so busy that she hasn't really had time to think about how adding another child to their life is going to be, but they already have 3, and it's crazy how much crazier can it get with just one more. So it doesn't seem as scary because they already have 3. She said she would realize she was pregnant when they were out with some friends and she started noticing that like she was getting really sensitive to smells and she looked at Abe and was just like, oh shit, we are doing this again, which I thought was funny. She does say that she was able to share the pregnancy news with her dad. He passed away recently, so she feels joy in the fact that he was able to know that she was pregnant and was able to see her pregnant for a little bit before he passed. So that is really beautiful. So congratulations to Erin and Abe and their family. If Roni gets renewed for next season, I'm sure we'll see it, but y'all. Okay, let's just quickly talk about the Real Housewives of New York episode that happened this week. I'll do a full recap on it, but allegedly, it seems like there is a pregnancy prank going on that is just in such poor taste. Um, Aaron meets up with a couple of the girls and says, "Oh my goodness, Rebecca's pregnant by another guy. Her and her husband are wild. They go and like sleep with other people around town, and Rebecca is now pregnant with another guy's baby." And Bryn and Jessel are like, and I hate that Aaron did this to Jessel because Jessel has been wanting another kid so badly and she can't get pregnant naturally. She conceived her twins via IVF and is going to have to do the same if they have another child, and she has been talking about how much she wants it. And so for the fact that like they're doing this with Jessel is like grinds my gears. But this, of course, gets spread throughout the entire group. They go and play dodgeball together, and Rebecca is like, "Oh, I'm so tired. I'm not feeling good, like low energy, blah, blah, blah." And all the girls now know that Rebecca is supposedly pregnant by another guy and that her husband's fine with it. So they're all like freaking out. They aren't bringing it up to Rebecca, except Jenna. Jenna does like, they're all done playing dodgeball. At one point, Bryn like throws the ball at Rebecca in her stomach, and everyone's like, "Oh, did she just hit her in the stomach?" And like, yeah, for Bryn to aim for her stomach thinking that she's pregnant, like that's so fucked up. And Jessel again is just like, "Oh my goodness, like she's pregnant, is she okay?" At one point, Rebecca is like, "I'm so tired," like acting like she's out of breath, and Jessel's like, "Oh my goodness, like let's get you to sit down." And I feel so bad for Jessel because she literally is trying to help this girl who is pulling a prank on her. And dodgeball's over. They all sit down. Jenna whispers to Jessel, like, or to Rebecca, like, "Hey, everyone is talking about you and it's really, really intense. I don't want to say what it is, but like, I just want you to know, like, everybody knows about it." And Rebecca's like, "Well, like, what are you talking about?" And Jenna like looks at her stomach, and then Rebecca yells at Aaron, and she's like, "You told them? You told them my stuff?" And Aaron's like, "Oh, I'm sorry." And like Rebecca gets up to walks away. Aaron chases after her, and then they start laughing like in the hallway. Like, "Ooh, that was a good one." Also, the episode opens with Aaron saying, "Well, this was all her idea." So it really seems like it's a pregnancy prank, which is so freaking dumb. Um, Also, it's ridiculous that Bravo teased this as a big storyline when they knew it was a prank. Like, what are we doing here? Do you guys hate this show so much that you're letting pranks now be involved in these trailers and these like really intense clips that you're trying to bait us to watch the show with, you know? I've liked Roni the reboot so far, but this was really freaking annoying. So anyways, I wanted to talk about that real quick because I thought it was really dumb. Like, we don't do pregnancy pranks anymore. So many people struggle with infertility. When you do something like this, it's just a slap in the face to them. And then the fact that you have somebody on your cast who struggles with infertility and you're doing this in front of her, like, get out of here, you know? Oh, okay. Kenya from the Real Housewives of Atlanta was on the Tamron Hall show earlier this week. She talks about her exit from Bravo after she allegedly showed explicit pictures of one of their new cast members while she was filming earlier this year. Kenya is on suspension indefinitely. She's not on the show anymore because of what she did. They were filming, so this happened while the cast was filming at the opening of Kenya's hair spa, which I was so excited to see her build this and open it up. They had an opening party. She apparently was showing pictures of the new cast member giving oral sex to some guy. The cast member wasn't there at the opening, but Kenya said she did this because the cast member used the word gun, like said the word gun to her. Kenya felt threatened, wanted to protect her child, so then allegedly showed these pictures to people. What? Like, what? You're gonna say you did this because you wanted to protect your child. Like, I don't think you should bring your child into this, you know? Kenya says even though she thought the pictures were distasteful, she elevated the situation by showing it and is taking accountability for what she did. Production has come out and said that Kenya has never been threatened with a weapon or there's never been a weapon on premises. Kenya says like Andy Cohen has been checking in on her to make sure she's okay, which I'm like, but she did something dirty, you know? Like, this girl could sue Kenya. Which I'm not even sure if she has, but like, what? Yes, Kenya's a mess. She's good for TV, but there needs to be a line drawn with our housewives. I don't like violence. I don't like shit like this happening. It lessens the show. Like, the show's already a reality show of rich women talking shit and turning on each other and being messy and catty, you know? We don't need this on top of it. I just think it was in real poor taste. I don't like it at all. Um so yeah, it sucks that Kenya's gone, but rightfully she should be, and she shouldn't be allowed back on the show. I think that is horrible for her to have done. But yeah, we'll see what happens there, I guess. Ooh, more drama with the Teddy Mellencamp of it all. And I don't know, this is all alleged. People are coming out and saying, yes, this is true, yes, it's not true. But apparently, allegedly, Teddy's husband had an affair about 10 years ago. Some people are saying it was a good friend of Tamara's. Some people are saying she barely knew the girl. Also, something happened around the time when Teddy was joining the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, and where she was saying, like, her and Edwin might be getting a divorce because of stuff that was going on. So some people are thinking maybe there were, like, more affairs going on in the relationship that we don't know about. It's just also messy. It has also come out that Teddy was allegedly with her horse trainer guy in Florida while his wife was giving birth in California to their second child. And if that's the case, just what a group of disgusting people. Like, Teddy, you're a mother. You know what it's like to give birth and like your partner being there and you want them there. Well, if you like them, you want them there. But to be with this guy while his wife is giving birth, like, that's a level of low, 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 you know? It's like every day there's something new that comes out and it gets messier and messier, and I want none of it. It's horrible if it's true. I do not want Teddy back on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I don't need her on the show to explain herself. I don't need any of it. We're good. Ooh, okay. We're gonna end. Oh, actually, I have two more things. Okay. Lala's Kent's ex-assistant Jessica, she has come out on Instagram to address her no longer being a part of the Give Them All a podcast or like in that whole world. She did an Instagram story saying that she thanks everyone for their support, saying that she would have loved to have said goodbye on the podcast if given the opportunity to, which alludes to the fact that there was some shady shit going on or bad blood. It didn't end well if Lala's not giving her the opportunity to say bye. So Jessica co-hosted the Give Them All a podcast with Lala and her brother, just saying that she loved how she was able to connect with people through the podcast. She hopes to stay connected. She thanks the listeners for making her life better and for those who have reached out so far, but that's all she is going to speak on it. And it's just like messy. Lala still hasn't addressed the reason for the sudden split. People are commenting though on Lala's podcast Instagram, just saying like, y'all did her so dirty. She was on this podcast for 3 years and then just one day like no more. And if it really was all good, like you guys said, we wish her well, we lift her up, she's gonna do amazing things. If you're talking like that, why isn't she on the show then? to say goodbye on her own. You know, it just makes it seem like it's even more dirty. Lala isn't responding to any of those comments. Her mom has been filling in as the third person. And so Lala's just responding like, my mom's so great. Like, I love that she's now like helping us out. And she looks so good for like however old she is. And it's just like, oh my goodness, Lala. Like, maybe just don't even say anything because the fact that you're even responding and choosing not to address it makes you look even worse, you know? It's just not a good way to keep it real and transparent with your listeners, like your loyal listeners who have been listening to you since the inception. And then like you're gonna not even do that? I don't know. I thought that was in poor taste. But who am I? It's just my opinion. Okay, we're gonna end this Bravo Celebrity breakdown with more baby news. Oh my goodness. Lisa Vanderpump had her Vanderpump Dogs Gala this weekend and let everyone know that her daughter Pandora is pregnant with her second child. Pandora hasn't come out and fully put it on social media or anything, but they were like on the red carpet doing interviews. Lisa said it, and then Pandora kind of like held her belly, like, yes, I am pregnant. So this is their second child. Her and her husband have a 3-year-old son named Teddy. So I cannot wait to see. Maybe it's a girl. If it's a girl, Lisa Vanderpump is just gonna adopt it, I feel. Move it into Villa Rosa and raise it as her own. But congratulations to Pandora and Lisa and their family. More babies in the Bravo universe, y'all. Alrighty, that is my pop culture recap and Bravo Celebrity breakdown for the week. Thank y'all so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like, comment, subscribe, follow wherever you are listening to this. You can comment on YouTube and Spotify. Let me know what you think. Follow me on social media for silly little garbage things that I post throughout the week. Alrighty, y'all. Have a great rest of your day. And again, thank you so much for listening. I really do appreciate it. Until next time.